Aries, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early June 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in energy and see what's going on for the lovely Aries collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous, my friends. Shuffle it up one time, see what we have for you this week. My guides, talk to me. What's up with Aries, please? And yeah, we're going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going. Let's rock. Let's see what we got for Aries here this week, my guides. Nice and quick, please. There it is. Okay, so we have some Magician energy, and I always find it extremely intriguing when this card starts us off, because there's a lot of similarities with the Magician in the tarot deck, but there's also differences. Now, before we start peeling back the layers on that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the June subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk about it. So we have this Magician here. Take a look at him. It looks like he's doing all sorts of different magic tricks and stuff like that. So of course, we could pull a lot of similar messages from the Magician in tarot. This could be somebody who's manifesting their creative power. It could be like extra heightened in this time. Things could be coming towards you magnetically, which could be a good thing. But there's other little notes here to this card. It could represent illusion. So you're going to want to make sure no one's like hoodwinking you or like hiding something or anything like that, because this Magician can also represent that illusion or things not being quite what they seem. So we'll see if these threads still run through through this whole reading. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Another thing with Magician energy is that it could represent control. So whether it's you wanting to control a very specific outcome or wanting to control the direction of your life, important things for us to take a look at, but we're going to just place him right over there. Let's get into tarot. I always say the first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a footnote. And yeah, I'm just going to get you 3 of these in the upright, and we'll get that juicy intuitive stuff going. So shuffle it up here. What do we got for Aries here in early June, actually? What's going on, my guys? So last week's reading, it was pretty interesting. It was titled A Massive Payoff, which to me, whenever I put payoff in a title or I see that in a spread, it does represent a reward at the end of a tough and rugged road. Now, there were some challenges in last week's reading. It wasn't all super silky smooth, but to me, there was something at the end, the back end of the reading, that was absolutely beautiful, wish fulfillment type of energy. So I'm hoping something paid off for you, your efforts or your hard work, diligence in some sort of way. But let's see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or someone you're connected to. But let's get you 3. But the energy was looking pretty nice last week. Okay, we have the Knight of Wands. Important, very important card, because it could represent you, but we're starting off with a bang here. This is big Aries energy, right? Like starting something with a lot of gusto, a lot of zest, pizzazz. Let's get 2 more. Let's see what we got here for Aries. And I would know, as I say every week, I am an Aries myself. Okay, we have the Hanged Man, completely different energy. So this is very stop and go. Like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We'll have to talk about this. There could be something you're really analyzing as well, or you might have your eye on something or someone. King of Cups, aka Kyle of Cups without a beard, showing up for the Aries collective. So we're gonna have to talk about this, my friends. We got some court cards, we got major arcana, we got all sorts of stuff popping off here. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes before we get the intuitive juiciness going. Now, at first glance, we have a lot of interesting mixtures of energy here. We have 2 court cards on the extreme ends. We have fire, we have water, we have the Hanged Man, which could also represent water energy. So there could be something in regards to emotion showing up here. A lot of inner feelings in this week's reading. A lot of stuff going on the inside. But let's go through one by one. Position number 1, we have the Knight of Wands. Like I said, could represent you. In my simplistic style of reading, when we clarify it, it could tell us a way you might be feeling, a way you might be acting, or something that could be coming towards you. But like I said, this is something very fast moving, starting with a bang, starting with a lot of gusto. So something could be getting off to a really good start, but this Hanged Man, we're going to have to take a look at it, whether it's a roadblock, because it possibly could be a hurdle or a situation. But when I see this Knight of Wands, I think of forward movement, forward momentum. The good thing about this card is there's a lot of motivation and passion and drive. This could represent somebody being very social, partying it up, living it up. In its negative sense, this could be someone who's an over-partier. This could be somebody that is a little wild, a little unruly. So when I see the Knight of Wands, it can represent conflict sometimes, or bumping heads, or temper in some sort of way. We'll have to see. Every card has a positive and a negative. I say that every week in almost every single reading. So we'll get more detail out of that. I feel like there's importance there. Now, moving to the center, we have the Hanged Man. This could represent a Scorpio, okay, especially with the King of Cups right next to it. Some readers do link this to Virgos as well. And when we see this Hanged Man, it's the complete opposite of that Knight of Wands. This is somebody pulled back, watching, waiting, analyzing, thinking. So for some of you, maybe you're under someone's microscope. Maybe you got someone under your microscope. There's a big watcher vibe when we have this Hanged Man. There's planning, there's strategy, there's analysis with this type of card. It could sometimes represent self-sacrifice, taking one for the team. You might be the type of individual where you worry about the happiness of everyone around you as opposed to your own, like literally taking one for the team. But this is giving me an interesting vibe that this may be some sort of hurdle, like we were seeing last week, a challenge, issue, situation that we might need to overcome. Now, the fact that this Knight of Wands is like going headlong towards it, I mean, obviously not in the picture, but the way the energy is flowing, it's like possible collision course of some sort. So we're going to want to see what's up with this for sure. I feel like there's an inevitability here as well. So we're going to have to see what's up. But getting to the back end, we're coming back in with some softer energy. We got our good friend, the King of Cups himself, chilling right there with his goblet. He's having a little beverage. He's chilling. And when we see this card, it could represent a water sign. It could represent older male figures, father figures. We think of artistic energy, creativity. This is a very soft, loving type of energy as well. So this could represent romance, fond feelings, or emotions in general. This shows up a lot in love readings as well. And I always say, like, yeah, knights are action cards. Kings represent control. So there's this little tug of war between action or keeping things under wraps. So the way we're seeing this as a whole, there could be some sort of like, all right, do I do this or do I hold off? Do I go? Do I stop? There's like this big stop and go thing at play here. But once again, this could represent the inner world. And when we look at all these cards overall, there's a lot of inner action happening here. So with all that being said, yeah, we need to dive deeper on this Aries. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here from my Aries people. Please, my guides, talk to me. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message. It means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Knight of Wands. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Aries, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Knight of Wands time. Thank you. Okay. I got to make something right. I got to settle this. Watch out for any situation you may deem as unfair. We have justice in the upright underneath this Knight of Wands. And the first thing that was popping in my mind is like, no, I need to make this right, or they need to make this right. So some of you might have that type of mindset about you if you're going through issues and problems. However, this could also represent karmic energy as well. Under a card that represents you, yeah, maybe you're taking some sort of well-balanced analytical action towards something, but this could represent the karmic hands tilting towards you in one way or another. And we saw that a few weeks ago, whether it's good things, whether you need to learn a karmic lesson or you're learning a karmic lesson of some sort. When we see this, it could represent legal things as well. If you're not connected to a Libra, when I see Lady Justice, I think of fairness. But at the same time, I also think of the big karmic archetypes. And we'll see if more of that plays out throughout the rest of this reading. But either whether a karmic reward, karmic lesson, or karma getting served up to someone and it's coming in hot, that's a big possibility here. So these energies are at play. We're going to keep moving. I really want to see what's up with that Hanged Man for sure. And the King of Cups. So we have a lot of stuff here. But some of you might have, if you're going through something, you might want it to be made right in some way or another. Whatever that means to you. Okay? Or that could be how someone's feeling towards you. Let's see what's up with that Hanged Man. Thank you. Super quick. Okay, yeah, there could be something that you're really skeptical to speak about, or something you're purposely not talking about. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse underneath this Hanged Man. I'm getting the energy of someone like purposely biting their tongue. Like, no, I'm going to wait a second. I'm going to feel this out. I'm not going to say anything about this just yet. You could have something in your line of sight. I do see that. Like, if you are going through big issues, if you're going through big problems, complications, whatever it might be, whether it's in relationships, work, this, that, or the other thing, you might be biting your tongue purposefully to just see how things play out. There's a lot of this watcher type of energy. Like, look, I'm looking, I'm watching, but I'm not saying nothing just yet. Okay, for a portion of you, this could be big communication issues with somebody as well. Okay, so maybe we'll see when we get to the King of Cups, but there might need to be some sort of talk when we have this energy. But I'm getting a lot of analyzing, but not saying anything yet. Okay, so do with that what you will. Once again, this could be how someone you're connected to is feeling. They could be analyzing a thing, analyzing a situation, and they're not speaking on it for whatever reason. Let's go in on the King of Cups. I'm not feeling treachery here. That's one thing I will say, though, too. Let's see what's up with the King of Cups, then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the Shadow card. So, why is our good friend the King of Cups with his cup there, having himself a drink? Let's see what's up with that King. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, this is somebody going through some sort of emotional roller coaster. Now, I will say this. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse underneath this King of Cups. This could be some sort of emotional overflow, emotional ups and downs, emotional eruptions could be it. So I could say, even though we have all this stuff going on, this could be a warning about how one is feeling right now. And we've been seeing it since the very beginning, like hot, cold, start, stop. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of second guessing, which isn't really big Aries energy. So this could be how someone you're connected to is feeling. Now, one thing I will say, the Wheel of Fortune, even in reverse, I feel like this is a positive luck-based type of card. Could be very nice. Like, in the end, even if something's tough right now, this could be saying like, all right, yeah, it might be rough right now, but it can change, it will change. It's also a karmic card as well. Okay, I have to mention it. The fact that we have two big karmic cards showing up. So whether it is somebody like learning a karmic lesson, I do feel like that, right? Like if you're going through a big struggle or issue right now, there's a lesson to be learned, a lesson to be pulled from this. Or someone's just about to catch a dose in whatever way. But when I see this Wheel of Fortune, there's a lot of changeability, but I'm catching like intuitively the first thing I was thinking is someone going through a lot of emotional ups and downs. So this is a warning, whether you're feeling very hot and cold or somebody else. Let's go through and do a quick recap because we have a lot of different things happening here, Aries. If you kindly look in the box before we get into the Shadow card, in position number 1, we have the Knight of Wands with Lady Justice in the upright. Usually this feels very good to me. Maybe there is something you're going through that you feel like it needs to be set straight or made right, whether you need to make something right or somebody else. It's a big vibe. Also, I've been mentioning it several times, the karmic energies have been showing up here. You might just be connected to a Libra when this card shows up. But there is somebody trying to take a balanced approach or wanting to. As we move to the center, we have the Hanged Man with this Page of Pentacles in reverse. Miscommunications, possible issues in talking. There could be something you're analyzing right now and not speaking on it, whether it is issues or situations. Like I was saying, this is somebody saying, right, I'm watching it. You know, it's got my attention, but I'm not saying anything quite yet. That's a big vibe I was picking up. If not, there could just be miscommunications. On the back end, we have the King of Cups himself with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Once again, the karmic undertones are showing up, but this felt like a bit of emotional chaos. Lots of ups and downs. That's why I said it could be an emotional warning of some sort. So please keep that in mind. We have like, yeah, time to take action, but not. So we're seeing this up and down, back and forth. So watch out in the coming days and weeks. You might be very hot and cold about things. Please take a screenshot. I'm going to get you one Shadow card. Now, from my experience, while I get this Shadow card ready, I know Aries is an action-oriented sign. Like I said earlier, I am one. I know we're generally very quick to make a move or take action, but there could be certain things going on that has you waiting, biting the tongue. Let's get you one Shadow card here for one reason or another. If not, this could be somebody else second guessing for whatever reason. Hey, we got the High Priestess in the shadows. Now, it's important to remember here, when we look at a shadow card, we're usually looking at the inverse meaning of it. High Priestess could represent any water sign in my style of reading. She is very much intuition-based. She could also be a little bit secretive, though, too. Okay? I don't know if this is a plan you have or something you were purposely shielding or not wanting to speak about, but there's a little secrecy and once again the lockdown communication. So there is something you're not speaking about for whatever reason, or somebody. The High Priestess does warn us against any dark spirituality as well, or reverse manifestation, stuff like that. Make sure you're I'm not even going to go down that route, but when I see the High Priestess, I do think it's very much intuition based. Whatever you're going through, use your instinct, use your gut, don't ignore it when we see this in the shadows. Okay, so yeah, Aries, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. That was a very interesting reading. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the June subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the May subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced in my community tab after this week's fire and air readings. But for the month of June, I'll be giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Everyday Witches Tarot. It's one of my favorite decks out there. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards in this week's reading, which one explains how you're feeling currently right now. Which one are you vibing with? You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I'll put the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you next time.